Hello everyone, welcome to Game 2 of the Brogden Cup between the Canadian and the U.S. U17 girls. Yesterday's game, the Canadians took the first game by a score of 13-3. The U.S. team has a lot to prove today. It's cloudy and drizzly. Turf is probably going to play a big part in the game today. It's a little bit tough. It gets a little slippery out there.
Yeah, hopefully the U.S. team comes out today ready to play and ready to compete against Canada. Yesterday's match was a difficult one for USA, and they could not hold their composure against Canada. So let's see what they can bring today.
On the Canadian side, number 16, a midfielder. Number 10 in attack, Abigail Hiltz. Just a little bit of trivia for everyone out there. Her dad coached the U19 boys 4 years ago for Canada, played pro in the U.S. for a while, and he's now on the other side of the field watching his daughter play and represent Canada. That's quite a great legacy for that family. The Canadian players have quite an advantage, I feel, over the U.S. because the girls do play box lacrosse. So they play a style of lacrosse, and they play with the boys. So it's very physical, very active. You have to move the ball quickly and make real quick decisions. And I think, Taylor, you might agree with me that we saw that yesterday in the gameplay, how much quicker the Canadians seem to react to make decisions.
Absolutely. You can really notice the difference on the field between the girls who, the Canada girls who have played box lacrosse and indoor and just a shorter space, so their hand-eye coordination, they think ahead a lot quicker, they see what's coming next. And even watching their warm-ups out here, both teams are doing the same warm-up drill at the same time. And you just notice how much quicker they see things. And it's just interesting to think that probably all goes back to the indoor and working with the men and playing with the men's teams in the indoor box leagues, because the aggression is higher, the speed of play is a lot higher. So
the Canadians also have an advantage because of our playing rules here in the U.S. They're able to practice and play together in the off season, and most of our local state associations don't allow out of season play between teammates. So you have to find some place to play that's not run by your high school coach. I know several of these girls do play for the U.S. coaches on their high school teams, and that would be in violation of a lot of local state athletic regulations. So that puts the U.S. at a bit of a disadvantage. Having coached the team last year, the girls team, I had a team of 20 players, only 3 or 4 played together, and you have a very short time, one practice for 1 hour, to be able to meld and know each other's strengths and weaknesses.
that definitely will make a difference out here.
Okay, we're ready for the first draw for game 2. Yesterday, the U.S. really did control draws as they just did on that first one.
They did. They just need to take care of their possessions when they get the ball.
And there's another example. They got lucky, picked up that loose ball. I think one of the keys today is going to be to slow this game down and not allow the Canadians to fast break and get set up downfield. The U.S. defenders got caught flat-footed on transition quite a bit yesterday. They need a nice long possession here to get their confidence up.
Composure and
there's another
possession.
drop. That's crucial. If they're going to drop it, they have to pick up those ground balls.
That's right. That was a turnover on USA. Canada picks it up and is transitioning up the field.
Again, very quickly, no break in her stride.
Looks like there was a shooting space.
That's unfortunate because that was a poor pass, and that might have come back for U.S. if there hadn't been the defensive foul. Shooting space is a foul where you can't stack defenders between the player in possession of the ball and the goal.
Shot and goal by number 2, Canada. That is a goal for Kyliyah Dobson. It is 1-0 Canada.
All right, that's her first game in this series. Yesterday's scoring was pretty much dominated by number 16, Annabelle Child, with 3 goals, high score on her team. And number 5, defensive/midfielder Riley Hunter. And then in the second half, number 17, another player who plays both ways, Abigail Copeland, had 2 goals in the second half for Canada yesterday. So their scoring's very spread out among several different players.
It's a lot of teamwork going on in that team.
And they have 7 different players who figured into the goal scoring mix yesterday.
Draw controls up, 50-50 chance. Looks like White, number 7 for USA, picked it up. Again, very much in control of the draw controls for USA. They just have to take advantage of their possessions. And there's another back check in the center of the field. Number 2, Canada, is pushing the ball upfield. It is now Canada's ball. Much like last night's game,
And
USA.
there's
goal.
the break. Goal.
Number 15, Canada. Jerica Obi, number 15, Canada 2-0. Yes, so like I was saying, much like last night's game, USA has got to stop transitioning down the middle of the field. They're getting back checks on back checks and turning the ball over.
Little bit lax on their taking care of possession of the ball. They're being a little sloppy.
I can only imagine their coaches trying to convey to them to get outside, to the outsides of the field and not transition down the middle.
Yeah, spread that Canadian defense. Don't allow the chaser to catch up to the ball carrier. Again, the big difference between the two teams is the Canadians go hard, keep their feet moving. The U.S. players are trying to settle their attack, and they're just taking too much time to settle, making it easy for that back check on a double or a triple team.
Ball's up. And number
All
6,
right.
USA picks it up.
That's
USA is
three draws,
Three
three
draws.
controls for U.S. Now let's see if they can make something positive happen here.
pushing the fast
All
break
right.
shot.
All right, that's a
and
nice
goal.
take.
It's a goal for number 13, USA. That's Emily Flint. Score is 2-1.
USA goal scored by number 13.
That's how you push a fast break.
That's
right
it.
there.
That's a way to take a draw and score a goal. And as you might have just seen, the official did check the goal scorer stick. That is an international rule that has filtered down to our high school levels here in the U.S., where after the player scores the goal, she's got to drop her stick, so the officials can check and make sure it is still a legal stick. Something you see more often in the girls' game and not as often in the boys' game. I got into the habit very early on after I scored a goal to pull those strings tight before the officials could ask me.
And now you can't do that because if you touch it,
If you
they're gonna
touch
take
it,
that
the
goal back
goal's
right away.
away. All right. There's that kick, using that kick. Another new rule for the girls.
There's Canada's first draw of the game. Number 2 picked it up on the ground ball. Looks like they're looking to push for a fast break here.
Now
Shot goal by
leaving
number 10.
They had a nice slide, the U.S. did, but they didn't have that second and third slide to cover that girl just waiting on the GLE there.
Number 10, Abigail Hiltz with the goal. It is 3-1 Canada. That was an awesome read by the attacker for the feed to number 10, who was low left, and she was wide open on the slide. And she had a nice quick stick into the cage, saw the open net.
The U.S. goalie did a
there.
good job moving across and seeing, but
That's almost an impossible save to make. When you go across the field like that, backside with someone right there on the doorstep, it's not easy to make that save. So great job on the attacker, on the attacker's end.
there's an illegal draw. Draws do have to go over their heads in the U.S. game. The draw is very similar to the boys' face-off. We just don't put the ball on the ground. They do it from a standing position. Girls have learned to pull it to themselves, to go left, go right, to push, to pull, depending on where their strengths are or the weaknesses on the other team. You can see the U.S. player pushed it ahead there. Up. We're going to get a yellow card on that contact with the head on number 13, White. The Canadians will now be a player up for 2 minutes.
Shooting space. Looks like number 2 was driving to cage, and a defender got in the way of the shot. So it's going to be shooting space on number 9, and she has a free position at the center hash. And she shoots high. It goes over the cage. Looks like it was deflected by the defender. Feed to number 2 on the inside.
Oh,
shot
wide
saved
open.
by
Nice
the goalie.
save.
What a save. Oh, and she clears the ball, and it goes over the defender. And now it's going to be Canada's ball. Number 16 with the ball.
That's unfortunate. Goalie made a nice save on that 1v1.
Yeah.
Need a lot of pressure. U.S. needs to really pressure the ball.
Number
but then
2
watch.
inside shot and goal.
They just released the ball so fast.
Very quick. That's a goal for Kyliyah Dobson. I would think that's her second
That's
of the
her
game
second
so far.
of the game.
She's quick. I think that's her second one on the inside where she's gotten a feed and a shot. Or at least something on the inside where she's making these. So she's a quick player on the inside that U.S. defense really needs to shut her
Oh,
down.
she was wide open.
She was wide open.
Wide open. Number 14 should have dropped down to pick her up on the U.S. team. U.S. defenders have to be more aware off-ball side and get those players on that side to drop down and cover.
Canada did a great job of finding the open player backside on that, since U.S. is still man down for some time here on that card. Ball's up. It's a 50-50 ball on the ground. Looks like U.S. number
All
18
right.
picks it up. There's a back check by number 8 Canada, and it's a foul, so U.S. picks it up again.
She's in a tough place, this U.S. player. Stuck on the sideline. Good pass.
Transitioning down the middle. There's nothing, so it looks like she's going to move it around.
This already is better than what we saw last night from the
Much
U.S.
better.
team.
Great ball movement, finding the backside cutter.
She tried
Not
to
the
force
best
that.
pass.
Nah, she tried to force that in there.
Looks like there was a foul on the pass.
And again, I'd like to see the U.S. just move this ball around and maintain a nice long possession here. Make those Canadian defenders move more. They haven't pressured them to make them move very much. All right, they got lucky on that one. She's going to force a crease roll.
Nice dodge.
Nice,
Number
very
3
nice.
with the goal. Elizabeth Mayer. Great inside dodge. She brought the defender top side and went underneath of her and shot the ball top left corner. Great shot and goal. The score is now 4-2. Canada up by 2. I think the goalie for Canada is a lefty, so that was awesome ball placement on the attacker's end of putting that to her opposite stick side on the top left corner.
Number 3, Elizabeth Mayer on the U.S. team. She also got into the scoring yesterday for the U.S., so hopefully she can really pour it on today and get her team motivated. All right, what could this whistle be for? All right, Canadian player must have released too soon if it's going to go to the U.S. All the way back to the 50.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
No one moves?
Must have been a draw foul.
That's interesting.
Maybe the Canadian center just moved too soon. All right, break for the U.S. Let's see if they can convert it into points. All right, there's some nice protection that we didn't see yesterday. Oh, too bad. She telegraphed that pass.
Oh, that was a bad foul. Definitely a yellow card. Looks like, I'm not sure if she was the one who made the pass, but frustration, you can let that get to you and foul too hard, and that's exactly what just happened right there. We had a hard push and a yellow card now on USA's number 6. Now it's going to be Canada's ball. As we saw there in transition, USA was trying to push a fast break when they did not have numbers up to push the fast break. They should have slowed that down and
They
settled the
definitely
ball.
should have settled it.
Can't say that enough here.
And
USA is high pressure in Canada right now.
That's unusual. 2 drops in a row. I don't think I saw 2 drops all of
Oh,
the
there's
game.
another.
Yes, 3 drops.
Yeah.
Weather could be playing a factor.
Number
Does
2
get
on the inside again for the 3rd time. She had her defender on the backside, made that catch, and had a nice shot top side.
It's tough. You're down a defender. It's really tough to cover all the players, get those slides. The Canadians released the ball. Look at that quick release. She scooped that up and released it. Knew exactly where her teammate was. Didn't even have to look. U.S. is leading the Canadians in draw controls 5-1. One of those draw controls did result in a goal. Again, I can't stress the importance of draw controls in this game. There's another one. Line of push. All right, that was nice protection by number 18. She did a good job protecting her stick, Elizabeth Christ. Her teammates call her Lizzie. I know the desperation the U.S. players must be feeling, but they really have to settle and play smarter. The Canadian, again, she's just standing, not protecting her stick very well. She got lucky on that call. You got to drive, whether you drive to goal or you drive up and around, swing it around, make the defense move.
Looks like she was trying to draw the double team, which she did, but the defense did a great job of sliding to the open player, so she didn't have many options.
And she had nothing off the ball. She wasn't even looking that way. All right, a lot of repositioning going on here. Now the officials have called for a timeout. Going to confer. U.S. should be back at full strength now. Official's going to come over to the sideline. Probably confer with the time on the card to make sure that everyone was where they were supposed to be. Waiting for some type of a hand signal from the official to give us a clue as to what the stoppage of play was for. She is explaining it to the Canadian coach. Could be a non-call once they realize they had the right number of players out there. Let's see, is U.S. going to keep possession?
It looks like it's 6-on-7, still U.S. down by one.
Still down
player.
one?
From what I can see. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's 7. They have 7. She drives a cage, right crease roll, number 7 with the goal. That's Eleanor Ray.
This is already much more offense than we saw from the U.S. team last night. This is exactly what they need for their confidence and get the Canadians thinking. The Canadians have not spent nearly as much time on the attack as they did last night. Nice crease roll. She shoots it before the triple can close in on her and crash on her.
Absolutely. U.S. is doing a good job driving hard to cage. Now they just need to take the next step, and whenever the option's not there to go, they need to pull out and find the cutters and move the ball quickly. The score is now 5-3. Canada is up by 2. Ball's out on the ground. Canada picks it up. Pass downfield.
I'd like to see the U.S. team pressure these Canadians on the transition through the midfield more than they have been.
Oh, number 2 picks up the ground ball. Defender in her face, number 6 with a yellow card. These girls really need to use their bodies and move their feet and not use their sticks so much to put so much force onto the attackers.
And now the U.S. is getting into a situation. They have had 3 different players get a yellow card. Because at some point, they're going to have to play short for the rest of the game. At 4 yellow cards or 5 yellow cards?
You know, I'm not so sure on that rule. It's been a while.
Good pursuit by the 2 U.S. players. Our goalie, number 20, Alyssa Moran, and her teammate. Goalie should make herself a little more available to help there.
White's clearing the ball right now, but I'm not so sure why she's running right to the middle of the 8-meter.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous zone to be in. She needs to get to the outside of the field. There she goes. She makes a pass wide to number 1, who looks to the middle to pass it, and there's an interception by Canada, and Canada's going back to their offensive end.
Need to see these U.S. players make some better decisions. Nice ball movement.
Defense.
Better decisions on clearing the ball. Better transition. They need a cleaner transition and a crisper transition. Nice
Goalie
save.
picks that one up on a missed pass. The ball was down. The goalie picked it up, and now looks like there's another turnover. Canada with the ball and shot and save. She's clearing the ball out. Number 13, U.S. picks it up. High pressure by Canada. Picks it up again.
All right, that
More
should be
high
a
pressure. That's a foul. It's
little
gonna
push
be
there.
USA's ball.
A little too much arms on that check.
Yeah, again, they really need to use their bodies and move their feet. Number 16 in the middle, USA moving the ball upfield to the outside. Trying to beat the
Nice back
defensive
check
pressure.
again. I have to wonder if the U.S. players are communicating the backside pressure to their teammates enough.
Canada looking for the fast break. She saw the slide low to high and tried to feed it to 15 lower, but the pass was too high and it goes out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be USA's ball. Let's see if they can clear this.
Good. Another rare miscue by the Canadians. This is going to help the U.S. team stay in the game and keep the score close. If any,
Oh, great back check by number 15 on Canada to get the ball back. Now they're going to pull it out and settle. Great decision on their part. It's been back and forth constantly for the past couple of minutes.
this settle gives your teammates time to catch their breath, reorganize their thoughts, and look for those open players.
Looks like they might trying to isolate someone
Yeah.
for a dodge.
This
They're
is a
very spread out.
different look than last night's game. All right, there we go.
Very much spread out.
A rare left-handed Canadian player. Most of them play right. They don't do a lot of switching of hands, but they're very good at moving the ball on their opposite side of their body.
There's a pass. It was
Okay.
dropped.
Nice pressure
US is
by
fighting
the
for it.
defender.
Number 4 picks it up. Great ground ball. She gets a back check, and Canada has possession once again. Oh, great back
nice cut.
Shot top left corner by number 2, Ontario. That is Kyliyah Dobson. Is that her third?
That's her fourth of the game.
Wow, she really came out strong today. Great shot placements. You saw her do the backside cut here on her defender.
Sidearm
Dropped your
sling.
stick a little bit and shot it high left corner. Great shot placement, great deception on the shot, great cut. Overall, great execution. Really doesn't get much better than that. Reading your defender, turning their head, and finding the space in the middle.
And now a timeout.
And we're going to take a break for a commercial.
6-3, that's not bad.
The Axiom is our first Maverick stick strung in the USA. Stringing at our Liverpool, New York facility allows us to focus on the details and deliver a higher quality, more consistent pocket. The Swivel Plus pocket is strung with maximum high pocket hold, keeping the ball in the sweet spot and increasing ball control. This allows attackers to keep the ball in the triple threat position for passing, shooting, and dodging on the move. The minimum legal pinched base shape channels the ball to the sweet spot for a quicker release. The scoop shape is optimized for accurate passing and shooting. The complete comes with the Axiom ultra lightweight carbon fiber shaft. Be a triple threat. Control the outcome.
All right, and here we are back at Game 2, Ontario versus U.S., U17 at the Brogden Cup. We are at the end of a timeout that was called by one of the teams. We have a little more than 5 minutes left to play in the first half. The Canadians are leading 6-3. U.S. does lead in draw controls 6-2. Goalies are fairly equal in saves. The U.S. team has come out much stronger today after last night's performance. I have to admit that they're taking better care of the ball, but at times they still need to be more careful and keep possession of that ball, keep it out of that Ontario attack that can score very quickly.
Yeah, we're really hoping that this one's going to be a close game and that USA stays in it to compete. They really need to focus on their transition and their ball possession and their composure and taking control on offense.
The U.S. team is the defending champ. U.S. girls won last year, so I'm sure the Canadians are here for a bit of revenge. As the coach of last year's team, I know they did not expect to lose to the U.S. We had 3 very close games. So the Canadians really, I think there's 2 girls back on this team from last year that I remember. And the one of them, we had a hard time shutting her down, also on attack.
Absolutely. These girls are here to have fun, fellowship with one another, and to compete and make each other better.
Absolutely. This is the way the sport grows, is these types of opportunities. They go back to their hometowns, to their home club teams, spread the word, the great time they had. Another draw control.
U.S. number 18 with it. Transitioning down the middle. Hopefully they can move the ball. Great look to the inside. Number 17 looks to drive. She pulls out. There was nothing. Great decision. And it looks like there was a foul, so she's going to have a free position. The ref pulled a flag. I'm assuming it looks like it was.
She's not on the 8 meter. She's a step off, so it was not inside the 8 meter arc. She doesn't have much available. Defenders on both sides.
Wow. Great feed. Not a strong shot there. The goalie came up with the save. There's a lot of defenders in there. You got to give them credit for making that quick pass and getting a shot off.
Come on, more pressure, more pressure. All right, that's good. Slowing her down. That's awesome. That's a nice ride right there. Make her go back. Again, nice pressure by 17, reading it. 15, a little closer.
Great pressure
All right,
by
yes,
US.
much better. This, let's see. There's number 18.
Oh, almost
Lizzie
intercepted by
Christ.
4, but number 2 is moving the ball up the field. Number 2 stick
There's
protection and her stick work
is phenomenal.
is
It's
phenomenal.
just, all right, there's another good stick by the defense. Much more pressure by the United States defenders.
Yeah, they really made them work hard to get that ball upfield.
Canadians are as good on those loose ground ball, 50-50 balls as they were last year. And I think that goes to the fact that they play a lot of that indoor box lacrosse.
Looks like they tried to have a feed inside of number 2 again. I'm not sure what the ref called, but it's going to end up being USA's ball. So it was an offensive foul. USA has it now, looking to clear the ball upfield.
Let's see if she keeps it out of the middle. All right, we're going to get that body call. In the girls' game, you can't go body to body. That way, as you just saw number 2 on the Canadian team exhibit. Now she's got some, the U.S. players has got some room to move now. She's got to be aware, though, they play a good ride. Got to get out of it. Oh, that's a nice check. They're going to call the trip on that one.
Yeah, she's got 4 girls on her right now. Right now you see the 2 white players, 6 red players, so it's 2 on 6 right in this area. They really need to find the open players backside up the field.
Yeah, she's got to look
Make a long
downfield.
pass. Great pass.
There we go.
Now you need to get upfield.
Again, look at that pressure by the Canadians.
And again, 3 on 1, so there's
Yep.
someone open. What a pass right there. Pushing
Nice
the ball
little-
upfield, great speed to the inside.
There we
Number
go,
12,
open
Sean
player,
Cole.
yes.
Beautiful transition right there. Like we said, you need to keep your head up and make the pass. The ball moves faster than your feet, and USA did a great job of doing that right there, executing.
As Taylor said, with 4 players crashing on the ball, you've got 3 teammates open. You have to look downfield. That's
Number
a real
12,
nice
Lauren
pass.
Gresham on the goal. It's now 6-4, Canada up by 2.
Nice job. Goalie was expecting a high shot, a little bounce shot at the goalie's feet. Very difficult for the goalie to take that big stick and swing it back down to her feet.
USA really needs that. You see their excitement after that goal and how they're celebrating. That'll really get the momentum going for them. All they need is one little play to happen to get everybody a little pumped up and excited, and that could really change the game for them.
That's the first time I've seen them that excited over a goal. I think they're finally starting to feel that they're in this game.
And they can compete.
I'm going to assume that someone, either we had a circle foul. Let's see who gets possession of the ball here.
USA. It's been a foul
Okay.
on Canada on the draw, so USA has the ball.
Great
Right
position
now they're
to
man up. If she pushes this fast break, they're going to be man up, so she needs to find the slide.
she's got to protect her stick better than that. The Canadians are very good at getting their bodies in front of the ball carrier to make that offside stick check. All right, this is good possession here. She didn't see anything she liked. She's waiting for her teammates to get set up.
Good cut.
Tried to feed it in. Little too much trying to thread the needle there.
It was a late feed. She was already pretty much across that post on the right side. If she would have caught that, she would have had to turn almost 180 degrees to get that shot off.
That would have been hard.
Probably the chance where you want to hold on to the ball
Come on,
and look
come
for
on.
something, the second cutter.
All right. Ball drops, slows it down, gives the defense time to get set up. Some nice pressure there.
Another
Good.
forced feed here. The ball's down on the ground. Looks like Canada's going to
Canada's
pick it
going to come
up.
up with it. Nice job by number 16 on Canada to get the ball into some open space, get out of that mess. All right, looking for the
Nice.
feed, patience, nice
Great
feed.
feed. Number 10, left-handed, top side, saw the back cut. There were 2 cutters. Number 4 on the backside was the best cutter. And as you'll see here on the replay,
Number 4.
great cut on the inside of her defender's shot and goal. That's number 4, Kyliyah Beach. Score is now 7-4 USA. 7-4 Canada.
I am still so impressed how quickly these Canadian girls release the ball after a catch. And there we go. That's halftime. That's halftime, and we're going to take a break for another commercial.
The Axiom is our first Maverick stick strung in the USA. Stringing at our Liverpool, New York facility allows us to focus on the details and deliver a higher quality, more consistent pocket. The Swivel Plus pocket is strung with maximum high pocket hold, keeping the ball in the sweet spot and increasing ball control. This allows attackers to keep the ball in the triple threat position for passing, shooting, and dodging on the move. The minimum legal pinched face shape channels the ball to the sweet spot for a quicker release. The scoop shape is optimized for accurate passing and shooting. The Complete comes with the Axiom ultra lightweight carbon fiber shaft. Be a triple threat. Control the outcome.
We are American innovators with a passion to protect, who build and deliver high-performance, game-changing headgear. Over the past 30 years, Cascade has been working on perfecting the world's next generation of lacrosse helmets.
At Cascade, when we're developing a product, everything begins and ends with the consumer. You know, Cascade, we're American innovators. From the beginning of the company 30 years ago, we build and deliver high-performance gear that's made here in America. It's designed, developed, and manufactured here. And that's something that we're very proud of.
And our own state-of-the-art internal lab has allowed us to ensure that all of our products meet their standards. We continually work with top-level scientists to fully understand impact attenuation and how it applies to the forces associated with head and eye injuries. As the game of lacrosse evolves, we believe that both men and women deserve an equal opportunity for protection on the field. So in the fall of 2016, we began manufacturing revolutionary headgear for the women's game, and we're not looking back.
At Cascade, we really pride ourselves on protection. And I think that bringing that heritage and knowledge and technology into the women's game is just the natural progression.
The Cascade Lx represents the next generation of head protection in women's lacrosse and was designed specifically for the women's game, with the input of people who administrate, coach, and play.
Cascade has always prided itself in customer service. We listen to every phone call, every email, every piece of feedback, from coaches to players to athletic directors and parents. We really pride ourselves in creating a product that's going to please everybody because that's just the type of company that we've always been and always will be.
Cascade listens, and we didn't just create the LX, we helped create the ASTM standard for safety for this new product category.
So right from the start I was involved with the writing of the standard. What we had to do is we had to understand what the energies in the game were, so ball impacts, stick impacts, replicate those in a lab, translate them to a testing scenario so that we could replicate those energies.
The Cascade Lx signals the next generation of head protection in women's lacrosse. It's evidence that our passion to protect has never been stronger.
And hello, lacrosse enthusiasts. We're back here for the second half of the U17 Canadian versus U.S. girls game. It is a chilly, drizzly day here at Jacksonville University. We are watching some great lacrosse. The U.S. team is mounting a great comeback here right now, playing much better than they did in last night's game.
Absolutely. This has been a great showcase by both teams on either side. And as you can see, the score is 6-4. I mentioned that it was 7-4 before going into halftime, and the goal that Canada scored right there on the buzzer did not count, so the score is still 6-4. Ontario up by 2. And they're coming out, both teams right now jogging on the field, getting ready to start the second half. Let's hope that both teams can really stick in it and we see a lot of good competition on either side.
The Canadians are not as careful with the ball today as they were last night, and the U.S. has been able to capitalize on some of the miscues on the Canadian side. A lot more offensive possession for the U.S. team, which works well into the way this team plays. Watching them play in July at Nationals, this U.S. team, they like to slow the ball down. They're very deliberate, very precise, so I'm very happy to see them play more their style game. The Canadians play a much more upbeat, fast-paced game. U.S. is leading in draw controls, 7 draw controls to the Canadians 2, and I think that's a direct result in the difference in the score, that it's a rather close game. 2-goal difference is nothing in the game of lacrosse.
You'd think with 7 draw controls on U.S.'s end versus 2 to Canada, the score would be reflecting that a little differently by having U.S. up.
Oh, they left her wide
Canada,
open.
once again, though, capitalizing on their transitions. There was a feed to the inside, number 12 wide open on the crease.
Nice cut by number 12. Her defender was caught ball watching.
That's a goal for number 12, Lauren Bell, and the score will now be 7-4.
Ontario goal scored by number 12, Lauren Bell, assisted by number 10.
You can see USA's defense is.
And in goal now for the U.S., we have number 19, Elizabeth Miotti.
And the draw is up.
Come on, come on. Oh. All right, she's going to get that on the empty stick check. That'll be another control for the U.S. team. It's good in their offensive end, so they didn't have very far to go on transition. Not a good pass.
Great decision. They're really forcing it in transition almost every time, and it's taking a toll. Their middies are just going up and down the field. They need to take control of their possessions on offense and make them count.
Canada's taking more time getting the ball downfield, so I'm wondering if the field conditions are making a difference. She's got to keep her head up.
Maybe. Number 5 had a great interception there on defense. The feed was coming, and 5 blocked it down, picked it up, and is looking upfield to transition. She's getting swarmed by Canada.
She did a good job keeping her stick and her feet moving there. Nice quick pass. That's just the way it should happen.
Field.
Need another pass. You can pass the ball faster than you can run with it.
Everyone's running away, and they do not have numbers up, though. It makes it really difficult for them in transition. Number 8 hesitates to make that feed on the inside.
Good decision.
After the last play, that's a great decision. They need to take control here.
This Canadian goalie comes out really
Great
far.
drive, top side, shot, low right corner, and score. It's a goal. That's a U.S. goal.
I think she saw the goalie way outside her crease.
Number 15, Annie Newton on the goal.
U.S. has had 5 different players score for them. No one has any multiple goals, but if you can get 5 or 6 different players scoring in a game, it makes it hard for the defense to key on any one player.
Absolutely. That's teamwork right there when you see multiple players with goals. That shows you that it's teamwork and not just 1 or 2 players taking everything on their shoulders and trying to get all of the goals. So that's the kind of things that we like to see here. And so now the score is going to be 7-5, Canada up by 2. And we're back at the draw control.
And we have another draw controlled by the U.S. Got to take better care of the ball there, girls. Nice draw control and lose it on another back check.
Canada goalie with the ball looking for a clear.
Goalie becomes an extra player here on the transition. If the U.S. can put some more pressure on this transition, good things could happen for them. That's good. Slowed her down. They're taking their time. They're being very deliberate. Canada has picked up the fact that the U.S. girls' ride has been more effective. They're going to take their time. Lots of movement going on out there.
Great clear by the Canadian goalie. Upfield, it is across the restraining line now. Number 8 with the ball. Feed inside to number 4. Trying to get her on the defender's shot and goal. Great ball handling by number 4, getting pressured by 2 defenders, and she still gets a shot off. Her stick was high, and she put the ball low. You can't get anything better than that right there. Kyliyah Beach with the goal for Ontario. It is now 8-5.
And the U.S. is right there on the double, but the player that slid for the double just didn't put enough pressure on the ball carrier. All right, here we are back with another draw control. We have a guest with us here in the booth. We have Joe Hiltz, whose daughter Abigail, number 10 on the Canadian team, joining us in the booth. Going to give us some more commentary, a little bit more on the history of the Brogden Cup, and talk a little bit about your experience as a coach, your daughter's experience as a player. That's really awesome that you were a coach and now you're watching on the other side.
Yeah, you know what? It was a great opportunity for the Canadian boys to come down. It gives our boys an opportunity to experience international play, when sometimes maybe they wouldn't get that opportunity. You know, with the World Championships at U19, a lot of the players that play in the Brogden don't get that opportunity. So this just gives them an opportunity to play.
It's great experience for them to see what it's like first to travel, and then to play against different styles, and see how players move, and for the coaches, different coaching styles. I played on the U.S. women's team in the 80s, and we didn't have these younger level games. Pretty much you played in high school, you played in college, you became an All-American, you went to trials for the U.S. team over the course of 2 or 3 weekends, and getting to play players from other countries. And then it was all women in our 20s and 30s. Now, you know, at 25, you're washed up and kind of out of the game. But the opportunities international play allows between the countries is awesome. As a player now, coach myself, it's a great opportunity for all these players.
No, it is. You're absolutely right. Like back up in Canada, we don't have a lot of tournaments to play in, right? We have our league, our girls' league in the summertime that they play in, and within other than that 4 months of playing 2 games a week or something like that, we don't get that much opportunity. So by getting the opportunity to come down here and play, you know, our girls are experiencing, getting better, and wanting to come down here and play. Most of these girls want to come down here and play in the U.S., right? So they may take this opportunity to come down to all these tournaments, right, to show what they have.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of Canadian players do like to come down to the U.S. to play. My son attends a small college in North Carolina, and they have 1 or 2 Canadians on their team, and in their conference, there's quite a few Canadians, a couple kids from Colorado, so they do like to come down here and play. I think it's the experience and maybe the nicer weather, so it's a longer season, so they get more chances to play a longer time.
Well, it is, and it's just the fact that you get to go play in the NCAA, right?
Yes.
And it's not Division I or Division II or Division III. It's the opportunity to come down here and play. There's lots of opportunities for our girls to come down here and play, and it doesn't always have to be at the top level.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
No, as a coach, I told my players, we're going to find the right place for you academically, and if you want to play, we will find you some place where you can play that's at your level, where you have to decide, do you want to play or do you want to wait, maybe sit the bench, be a practice team player, or do you want to come and play? We have so many opportunities for our young men and women now to play at whatever division. Doesn't matter what division. I mean, Taylor's played Division I. My son's at Division II. I played Division III. And that school is still very good at lacrosse, and I think there's a place for everyone. You just have to be diligent, do your homework, and find it.
Absolutely. Joe, your daughter, number 10, Abigail, does she have a school in mind where she wants to go?
We have a couple. We're you know, she still has another year to decide, right? So like next year, September, she can decide. We can finally sit down and decide what school we're going to go to. You know, we're right now we're looking at St. Bonaventure, so we are. It's one of that's really high on our list.
Awesome.
So
Nice program.
Canisius is another one. Something that's not too far from home, but far enough that, you know, that we can travel and watch her play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I'm sure she has a lot of options.
She's one of the best players out there on the field for Canada right now. As a lefty, a low lefty player.
Yeah, she is. You know what? She likes to sit back and feed the ball, and you know what? And you know, it's just you know, every now and then she'll go to the net, but she likes to sit back and play that slow down, take control of the game. You know what? And control the ball and make sure that nothing stupid happens with it, right?
She's a great player out there. She's very patient. She sees the field well. And she's great on the left side as a lefty, seeing the backside cutters for the right-hander. So I'm sure she connects very well with all of her teammates.
She does, you know what? And a lot of them love playing with her. She just, if you get open, she'll find you.
And her transition through the midfield has been a game changer for the Canadians. Her speed, her combination of speed and quick stick work. She gets the ball out of her stick quickly. She makes good decisions on her passes. That's a player that's playing both ends of the field. As a college coach, that's what you want. You need someone who can contribute on both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah, it's true. Like, yeah, exactly.
Did your daughter ever play indoor box lacrosse?
You know what? We haven't played box lacrosse in a few years. She played up until she was about 8 years old.
Okay.
And then we made the decision to go play field lacrosse in Oshawa for the Blue Knights, right? For the Lady Blue Knights, which is a very prominent program in Ontario. Probably the best program in Ontario. And so we traveled about half hour, 45 minutes, 3 times a week for practice. So we don't get that opportunity because they both run at the same time. So we would have to play in Peterborough box and field lacrosse in Oshawa, and they overlap. But so
you have to choose.
Yeah. So you know what? She's done well. Like their program has done well. Like they've had 8 consecutive provincial titles. They've only ever lost 1 game. So
that's awesome. A lot of the girls mentioned how they grew up playing box lacrosse, and we've mentioned before on the broadcast during these games that you can really see the difference in style of play and how much quicker they read the game, they see what's next, and their hand-eye coordination is just impeccable and very quick.
Phenomenal.
Quick reaction, quick thinking, and I sit back and I wonder how much better of a player would I have been if I had that opportunity.
I'm saying the same thing.
It's true. You know what? They get into situations where, you know, it's tight. It's there. We put pressure on the ball. Like defensively, you see the pressure come right away. Girls are like all over like a box across.
They swarm.
Right? And then when we get the ball, it's heads up and start looking, right? Because in box across, if you keep your head down, you're going to run over, right?
Yeah, you're going to get run over.
So all these girls
you're
are,
going to get
no, so pick it up. And,
Yeah.
okay, there we go. I had to watch that one.
Yeah.
That was Abby.
As we've been talking, Canada has scored quite a few goals here, and we are now at 11-5. Canada really stepped it up in the second half. You can see them, as we're talking right now, they're doing exactly what we're saying with the quick ball movement, nice shots in the goal, and they're really executing very well out there.
That's her second goal, Abigail's second goal today. I might have missed a couple as we were conversing. She did have 2 in yesterday's game, so she definitely spreads the ball around. She likes to dish. I'd like to see her shoot more because she's so good at it.
And now she's taking the draw.
Now she's on the
There
draw.
you go. All right, awesome.
They're like, she's doing well. Let's put her wherever we can.
See, this is the part, like, you know what, right now she's using a Canadian stick against an American stick, right? So right now this ball should go American way forward.
Okay.
Because of the little hook on the back stick.
Oh.
Right? So
let me see if I
She
can.
wants to pull it to her backside.
yeah, but
Yeah.
with the pocket of the American stick, they use it, they get more leverage because they get the ball held longer in the tip of the stick. So let's see where this one goes.
I'm sure her height helps as well.
Well, it depends if she's going to self-draw, just try and pop it up to herself, or if she's going to pull it.
There, look at that. Oh.
It's like
No, she pulled it back.
her stick might have been hit in the air there.
It was.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I can understand why her coaches wanted to put her up there because her ability on ground balls and loose balls, those 50-50 balls, she comes up with it almost all the time. Or she puts on an effective box out so a teammate can get in to scoop up that ball.
Number 10, Abigail, and number 2, Kyliyah on Ontario are a very strong duo and hard to stop.
Well, that's because they're teammates.
Oh, there you go. That
So
makes sense.
back in Oshawa,
Those are
they
dangerous.
play.
Yeah.
They're a 1-2 punch, and they're missing their third punch, which is Briar Hogg,
Oh,
who
USA's lucky.
who didn't make the trip or didn't try it this year for this team. So, really, and 2 of the girls that play in Abby's team made the U19 team,
Gotcha.
Okay.
right? So at Abby's age, So they could have been here as well, right? So they're a very good combo.
Absolutely.
So they are, and they work well together.
Great cut by number 7 down the middle of the 8 for USA. Looks like it was a deflected feed.
Just love the pressure the Canadian defenders put on. They're smart. They move quickly. Their second and third slides are impeccable. They're putting a lot of pressure. There's another nice play by the defender keeping the ball carrier out.
Yeah, we're not afraid to put the double on or take a foul inside because our goaltending is good, and our reaction to get to that free position shot is pretty quick.
It is very good.
Right?
They have made the U.S. team work hard for every goal they have been able to score. All right, they're going to get the call on that push. The attacker just got a half a step on the defender.
Number 3 is a quick little
13,
attacker out there on the field. It's hard to stop someone who's so quick and without fouling. So
now if she can
give
get
it
a
to
good
her.
quick shot off, lefty goalie. She took too
Another
long.
push.
Oh, that's going to be a
That's
card
a yellow
there.
card? Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say.
going to be a card. First one for the Canadians today. The U.S. had 3 quick ones in the first 10 minutes of the first half. Canadians seem to be pressing a little bit on defense because the U.S. team is playing a lot smarter on attack today.
You can see the higher level of aggression on defense from the Canadians in last night's game and today. Great save by Canadian goalie on the free position shot by number 3 on USA. Looks like they were attempting to clear. It was a failed attempt, so it's going to be USA's ball coming back into the offensive end.
Now, although that's an unintentional trip as officials, we are taught to make that call. It's unfortunate.
But it's still effective.
But it's it really is a disadvantage to the attacker with the ball.
No, that's true. The good thing is I officiate up in Ontario as well, girls field lacrosse. So parents down there asking questions. They're like, "Whoa!" It's like, you know what? It's right. You know what? It's for a lot of this for safety factors, right? We make calls because you know what? As an official, you want to keep things safe.
Yes.
Right, and you want the game to be played, but at the same time, there is aggression. There is that. You want to be aggressive. You can't take that out of the game.
Right.
Right. So, we teach our girls between the restraining lines, you know what, you can put as much pressure on as you want in there because it's not going to really affect the play.
Right.
Right? So if you take a foul between the restrainings, it's okay.
Yes, it is. It doesn't cost your team much. I agree. Having been a coach off and on for many, many years, more than I will admit to, kind of foul, you're right. We can give that one up. You have players on both sides, behind you, in front of you, that can help you cover up there.
You saw that turnover by the USA. Canada did a great job of clearing the ball out quickly, pushing for the fast break. It wasn't there. Now they're pulling it out, spreading the defense wide. They still have a yellow card, so they're man down. USA setting that double team. Yeah. Canada really needs to find the backside, keep the ball moving so that the double team has to keep running and tire them out. You really just need to outrun the double team.
Canadians are being very smart by spreading the field so that it's difficult to get a double on the ball.
USA needs to send that double team, though. I don't know what they're hesitating and holding back for.
Oh, the card's up right now, so.
So it is up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
so now
USA
we're all
cutter
even.
Down the middle.
Good defense.
Good pressure by the D. It's going to stay Canada's ball.
Number 2 did a nice little duck trying to go underneath. A potential double. Draws a foul.
She's a swift little player. Kyliyah Dobson
is very quick. She's a nice shot. She can place the ball
Smart
very well.
decision. Oh, they left her wide
patience.
open. My goodness.
She did not have the shot in the middle, so she kept going, found the backside top left corner.
The U.S. defenders have got to follow those ball carriers through. They tend to stop once a ball carrier gets 2 steps on them.
Yeah, you're right. Or just step up and stop it,
Look,
right? You don't have to go to it.
There's
just
a nice
stop it.
double, and all right, nice little pick set there. Number 12 sort of said it's more of a screen than a pick.
Fantastic shot placement.
Yeah. Good heads-up play by number 2, realizing that as her teammate cut towards her, her teammate picked off the 2 defenders on the double. Look at that smile.
That's her 4th of the game. 4th or 5th. I think that might be her 5th.
I missed a few as Joe and I were speaking, so I know I missed a couple there. Yep, I have 5
Either way,
for number 2.
she's got quite a few.
She's got a lot
on the board.
She was on fire in the first half. 4 quick goals for her.
11-5 Canada.
The scoring's been really spread out among the Canadians
Yeah,
too, which
you
is
know what,
really
it-
nice to see.
It gets that way, right? Because we do move the ball around a lot, and
Yes.
it's not like, okay, we're on the same team back home. We're just gonna play pass and go to
Right,
the net.
right.
It's we're taught, if you're playing for Team Ontario, that's your team.
Right.
All the players on that team belong to one team right
Right.
now, and you make sure that you're hitting the girls that are open.
Exactly. It's easy to pass it just your own teammates, but then it makes it easier for your opponent to key on those couple of players. These girls are smart. They're taught to, within 5 or 10 minutes, to figure out their strengths and weaknesses of their opponents. And if they're keying on 1 or 2 players, you just box those players out of the game. Just face guard them, shut them down. All right, number 2 likes to take that across.
She's working her defender.
But there was a whistle.
That's unfortunate because that
Yeah.
was great. That was a great rocker move, pulling her defender to one side and coming back on the other side and making a great shot.
Yeah, number
into
2
the
was
net.
really looking for that move.
She's got some space here. This is a good hash to have as a righty.
She's going to try it again.
Oh,
Didn't
good
have much of a
slide by
shot
the
there.
defense. Shot and saved by a Canadian goalie, and the ball is out, moving upfield quickly. Looks like we have 3-on-4. Canada coming in. We're 4-on-4, and everyone's settling in now, pushing the slow break. So, Joe, they mentioned that you were a coach for the Brogden Cup in the past.
Yep.
What team did you coach, and how was that experience?
You know what? It was like I was probably coached down. We were back in I think it was in Tampa, Orlando. I think, or somewhere down. We were
In
down
Tampa,
there.
yeah.
And it was a great experience. It was a great experience to come down and to play. And you know what? The one year we came down, Joel put together 2 American teams, so we had kind of like a little round robin thing going on, and we got to play 2 different American teams that were here, which was nice. The boys love it. The boys love coming down here to play. And you know what? It's the Brogden. You know what? Unfortunately, we don't always bring the team that we should bring because a lot of kids are away at school and they can't make it. So we are putting together a team sometimes to come down.
We have the same issue with
Yeah.
the U.S. If they're multi-sport athletes and they're playing a winter sport, they really can't get away for this week.
Or if they're at prep school. Right?
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So our boys are down here at prep school. They can't get away to come
Right.
to this, right? So that's one of our big issues back home.
I like the fact that it's fresh every year, that maybe you can't bring the same players. So there's always more players getting an opportunity for this international play.
Yeah. I'm glad Joel put together the girls on here.
Me
It
too.
started last year. You know what? And the U15 boys. I hope that gets going because we could really make it a good event.
Yes, I
You know,
agree.
and maybe not just with the 2 teams playing, but I always like to have the 3rd American team or the 2nd American team, right? If you have 2 American teams and a
Yes.
Canadian team, or you maybe even at one point start getting that Iroquois team, that First
Yes.
Nations team involved,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So to come down and play because that would really make it an international event.
International, and just to bring the whole history of lacrosse,
Yeah, that
bring
would
the
be
Iroquois
awesome.
down here, it would be.
So,
Oh, what a shot. Great shot
Nice.
placement by number 14 USA. It's a goal by Meredith Mann. I think that's her first of this tournament. The score is now 12-6, USA down by 6. Great backside shot.
Some of the tournaments my son has played for his club team down in the Maryland area, there were quite a few Canadian teams, and there was
the
one.
Edge, there's Edge,
Edge.
there's Evolve.
We
there's
didn't play
there's
Evolve.
the Hill sometimes comes down. Hardcore.
Hardcore we played,
Right.
and to watch them
So
play.
Hardcore,
Woo.
they're the guy that runs Hardcore. He coaches the Buffalo Bandits. No,
Oh.
yeah, well Troy Cordingley. So is it Toronto Rock maybe?
I
I'm
don't,
not sure. Well,
I'm,
anyways.
I'm not
not
sure.
He coached in the pro league, so he runs.
Sorry
if
you're
That's his
listening.
program. Yeah. Sorry, Troy. But he runs so he's got that going on, right? He runs that program. Evolve is run by Tracy Klowski, who is an assistant coach with the Black Wolves out of New England,
Uh-huh.
right? So we do have some good programs in Ontario.
And it's just like watching the girls here, quick with the ball. They don't hold on to it long. To me, I call that old style lacrosse. when I played way back in the 80s, it was open field, no boundaries.
It was a track meet.
Yes, it was a track meet.
Right.
My not yet husband watched me use a big oak tree as a pick as I played one game. I said, well, we didn't have boundaries, and I was able to go run around it and get rid of 2 defenders, so I could do it. I did it.
When my oldest started playing, they had, I think when she first started playing, there was no boundaries, and it was kind of soft boundaries at the time.
It was very soft, very soft.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago because I like the boundaries. As an official at that time, we hadn't started lacrosse in the town that I moved to from southern Jersey. Playing areas were not that great up in North Jersey. So having boundaries made it, I think, safer for the players. I missed the wide open play, but as an official, it made it so much easier to decide who was going to get the ball, and I think it made it safer.
Yeah.
Especially as our younger girls started playing.
Yeah, so I don't think when my oldest started playing, they have soft boundaries where if I threw the ball out of bounds and I was closest, I got it.
Yes.
If you ran out of bounds and they kind of blew it dead and brought you back in.
Yeah, and they brought you back in.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you threw it out of bounds, if you were the close one to the sideline, you'd get the ball.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, just throw it out of bounds and go get it.
Well, sometimes we coached our goalies to do that. You know, you don't have anyone to throw to, just heave it as far as you can towards the sideline, the other end.
But it's really good to see the games come like a long way.
We have a little less than 2 minutes left in this second game. We're very fortunate to have Joe Hiltz here. His daughter is playing on the Ontario team, Abigail. And he has a long history here with the Brogden Cup as a coach for the boys. I'm sure coaching your daughter too.
Oh, yeah.
We coach them all. I have 2 sons, so I coach girls, started in my town, and then coach my son's teams.
I've never not been coached by my parents, so I know how she feels.
Oh.
You know what? I to be honest, I haven't coached Abigail since box lacrosse because I've left that to Carolyn Toll.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you know who Carolyn Toll is. She's like an international. She's one of the top 2 international referees in the world.
Okay.
Like one of the top. She coaches Abby. So that's the Oshawa coach, and she's coached her for 6 years. And then Abby's had a couple other girls that have gone down here to school to coach her the last couple of years. So, you know, I leave the coaching to you guys.
Give her some independence.
Right? Now the boys, probably, you know, if the boys, I'd be coaching for sure. But I just like to sit and enjoy this.
Yeah.
I have to admit that when my son was finally coached by someone else, I enjoyed sitting back and watching. He's a goalie, so I needed to be by myself at the far end because if he misplayed a ball, I would have, you know, I would say something. Oh, nice. Did it go in? Oh,
it
for a second there, I thought the goalie got it.
Couple minutes or past minute or so, we've had a goal by number 6, Paige Wayliv, number 8, Paige Statura, and now a goal by number 15, Jerica Obi. I apologize for any mispronunciations of the names. That's 3 quick goals right there, bringing the score to 15-6, Canada.
They've really opened it up in this last 5 or 6 minutes. The Canadian attack has really poured it on.
No foggy.
Raindrops on our camera lens.
Yeah, hopefully the sun comes out and it clears up today.
Well, it's still warmer than it would be in New Jersey. It's about 1 degree in New Jersey without the wind chill, so I'm pretty happy to be down here with the 50s.
Well, there's about 8 feet of snow in Ontario right now, and it's like minus 20 plus.
Oh, man.
Then the wind chill. So we're glad to be here, even though it's drizzling a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's nice and warm.
It's still a lot warmer, right?
Absolutely.
Another control by the Canadians here. They're going to take their time, move that ball around.
And they'll just kill the clock out.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday, and Taylor and I were commenting how it's a good opportunity to run your stall in case you should need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get your players used to it in a game-like situation, which is very different than running it in practice. And the fact that the games are filmed, if they made any mistakes, you can go back and use it as a coaching tool later on and point out, see what you did here, we should have gone here. It's all about teaching the players about all the different decisions And I really believe visually, if you can show them a different decision that would have been better, they're going to remember. These girls are bright. They have high lacrosse IQs. And they're good at conceptualizing and seeing what they need to do differently and then putting it into practice.
That's right. Having these games videoed is awesome for these girls. So after the game, they can watch them and have learning opportunities, so they can improve their game, come back next year even better and stronger for their teams and for each other.
And that's the end of game 2. Canada wins 15-6.
Strong lead there for Canada. It's they're 2-0. Canada has 2 wins for the tournament. We have another game tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Listen in.
We have 7 different players that scored for the Ontario team, and we had 6 different players score for the U.S. No one in a multiple goal situation. I could be wrong in that. As we were chatting, I did lose track. Again, number 2 for the Canadians, Kyliyah Dobson, really lit up the scoreboard for her team today, leading her team with 5 goals for today. Joe, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for coming in and giving us your take on lacrosse up in Ontario. It was a pleasure.
No, it's a pleasure being here. It's, you know what, coming back to the Brogden Cup for the first time in a long time. It's nice. It's a good opportunity, and it's a
it's nice to come back.
Yeah,
I know this is my second year back. I'm coaching duties last year, more administrative duties this year. It's just such a great opportunity. Remembering when I had a chance to play internationally, it's, and I'm wearing all my USA today, so I apologize for that, but that's just how I run.
That's
thank
okay.
you again for joining us
very
today.
welcome.
It's been a pleasure. Good luck to your daughter in her future. Maybe
you.
we'll be watching her play down here in college. Well, not down here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'll watch for her on TV.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
Thanks
again.
everyone
Thank
who's
you.
listening. Thank you.
All right. We're going to break off now. Our second game. See you all tomorrow morning for game 3.